Grace, aka Werevlog, screenplay written by Cole Spivey. We're starting at the top of page 105. Veterinarian office. Interior veterinarian office day. Grace Lippin sets the cat carrier down on the front desk. Nellie, the vet office clerk, sits behind the counter and talks on the phone. Her name is Grace. She was bit by a snake on the back hind leg. She's my favorite cat, and I care immensely for her. The skin is peeling off, see? Please help her. I'll be back sometime before 6 or so, maybe 7. Nellie, the vet office clerk, on phone. You need to fill out this paperwork first, sir. Make sure you provide all vaccine shots, name of all previous vets, name of the pet, gender, and birth date if you have it. Does your cat have a microchip? No. Does your cat have a name? Garlene, I already told you. Let me finish this call, sir. This is Nellie. Fill out the papers first for me. Thank you. Nellie takes the phone call. She adjusts the receiver to her ear snugly. Grace takes the paperwork and sits down. Garlene meows. The werewolf kills the favor driver. Cut to exterior driveway, Grace Farm, full moon. A man, favor driver, drives a white van. On the other side of the van is the word in light blue, favor. The man gets out of the van and walks up the driveway with a package in his arm. He wears a t-shirt with a tuxedo image printed on the front. He drops the package at the door of the farmhouse. He returns to the van. He starts the van and puts the stick shift into drive. Oh dear. Swoosh! The glass breaks on the driver's side of the vehicle, and the vehicle slowly rolls onward. The driver is ripped from the van. Howling arises. The howling continues beneath the full moon as the man screams for dear life. The van reaches a speed below 10 miles per hour or so. The man is dragged into the brush by the vicious creature. Cicadas arise. More howling. Onward, the van goes without the driver, or anyone for that matter. The man's scream dies out. The van rolls away without the man and continues on a straight path toward a forgotten pond. The unmanned van rolls into this green, slimy, infested, murky pond and submerges complete from any witnesses. The van is empty as it sinks. As the water overcomes the van, it seeps in through the passenger and driver's side windows. The water begins to splash on the floorboards, soaking the floor mats. The victim and favor driver's smartphone records from the passenger seat. He was vlogging with his camera before the werewolf snatched him and dragged him into the wilderness. The phone, which is currently recording upward point of view of the tragic incident, begins to float around as the water amounts and floods the interior of the entire van. Eventually, the smartphone begins to float and twist in figure eights, recording every angle and possible shot of the flooding and submerging van. Finally, the van bottoms out flat against the soiled floor of the pond and sinks further down to the floorboard until it fizzles out. We have witnessed all of it on the late favor driver's smartphone, now a victim of the shape-shifting monster. Bubbling underwater, a loose pizza floats over the dashboard and passes before the lens of the smartphone. We notice a soggy pizza box reads, Pizza Hut app, the easiest way to order. Cut to interior, favor van, pond, moments later. At this moment, the van is full of pond water and sunken. The phone remains recording the entire event. The fan is underwater and finally floats to the bottom and gently crashing on the bottom of the murky pond. Over aerial shot, looking down upon the submerged and sinking van. The van hits the bottom of the murky pond. The white roof billows and undulates from the skim of the pond water. POV, smartphone. The smartphone floats about the van and swings downward through the pond water and onto the dashboard, completely underwater. The full moon flickers behind the silver outline of a dark, cloudy sky and stares downward at the empty van and its watery grave. The phone remains recording until there is only fuzz and murkiness and blackness, nothing. Night has officially reared its head, and this particular full moon mocks its rebellion, and the favor driver's smartphone has captured it all. Psst! Cut to full moon, dissolve to full moon, cut to exterior Lowe's parking lot. John Blacksmith sits in the back seat of the Uber. Mark drives. They are currently parked. Gerald Ullman III chews on a Tic Tac candy. John types. I'm hacked into his system. He should be pulling up to Lowe's now. Really? POV of Mark, the driver. A black SUV pulls into Lowe's parking lot. The SUV truck parks and idles. Grace shuts the ignition off and hops out. Grace walks over and gets a shopping cart from the cart corral. He pushes it across the parking lot. Grace notices a small piece of packing tape stuck on the wheel of the cart. He tries to peel off the tape, but fails. What the? The packing tape gets stuck on his fingers as he tries to peel it off the cart wheel. Grace pushes the cart, and it shakes and rattles. The cart will not move forward properly. This damn piece of shite! Grace loses his temper and begins to fight with the shopping cart. Why can't I ever find a cart that works? A Lowe's employee, Lane, approaches. My name is Lane. Can I help you, sir? Jesus, love of Mary. This damn cart won't push right. It's got some packing tape on the wheel. Here, let me peel the packing tape off for you. Lane gets on a knee and begins peeling the packing tape off the cart wheel. Jesus, love of Mary, it's hot out. Lane, don't worry, sir. I almost have it removed. Just freaking forget it. Lane notices Grace's anger with the cart. Sir, I can get you another cart. Don't worry about it. God! Grace pushes the cart across the lot and into the cart corral. The cart smashes against the other parked cars. You don't have to freak out. I'm not freaking out. The damn cart doesn't work. Just use a new one. Fine. Lane rolls over the new cart to Grace. Here you are. Thanks. Grace pushes the new cart toward Lowe's and heads in. John Blacksmith studies his every move and is making notes on his notepad the entire time. Camera swoops in on John Blacksmith's in-car. Yes, I'm certain now. He is the werewolf. He must be the lycanthrope. Especially with that fit of anger he just displayed with the carts in the cart corral. Yes, sir. He is the werewolf. Cut 2. Interior, Lowe's moments later. Grace is now pushing the cart down the aisles where lawnmower equipment is displayed. John Blacksmith and Mr. Ullman hide behind a pile of hammers. There he is. I know where he is. I have his every step monitored on my trafficking app. He is headed to the lawn mowers. I even know which mower he will attempt to get. Which one? The ego power mower. The riding. Cut 2. Grace. Where's John Deere mowers? Lane walks up. You need help? I'm looking for a good John Deere riding mower. Lane. John Deere, huh? Yes. Where is the John Deere riding mowers? Cut 2, John Blacksmith. Crap. I thought it'd be an ego power. So he's getting John Deere. Doesn't prove anything. I guess a werewolf could like a John Deere mower as much as an ego power. True. Cut 2. Horseback trail at night. Exterior horseback riding trail, night, half moon, music. Grace, Lippin, and Rainey love ride horseback on the back trail behind the ranch. Grace rides a white horse, and Rainey rides a black stallion. There are colorful lights connected to their houses, and a Coleman electric lantern hangs from Grace's horse saddle. Grace's horse's throat latch strap is lined with playful tiny lights. An LED lamp is fixed on Grace's horseback riding saddle and led by his hand to lead their way in the dark. Cut 2, trophy. Interior, Grace dojo and trophy room, night. Grace walks onto the dojo floor while wearing his white gi. He stands and begins karate kate. Alexa, play Pixie Mix. The Alexa device is in the wall, begins playing the Pixies' greatest hits. He settles and wipes the sweat from his forehead. He walks over to the trophy case and looks at his old photographs captured during his old UFC championship fighting days. He opens the case and takes out a UFC medal and polishes it. Then he picks up an old trophy and wipes the dust away with his sleeve. Rainey walks up behind him. Alexa, shh. The Alexa device mutes in music. I thought I'd find you in here. Looking at my old trophies, my old stuff. You were so cool back then. You're still cool now. Gotten older a bit. Graying too. She brushes a few of his silvery hairs. I wish you could go back. Fight again. You almost died, dear. You almost died in your last match against Patty. It's time to move on. Find something new. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. I still love you, dear. I'm proud of you. Grace, look at this. She walks over to the trophy case and takes out a photo, and then pops open the back of the photo frame. She takes out a photo of her with long jet black hair and a leather Kiss-style costume. She's holding a black Gibson guitar. A banner reads Silver. Other band members, dressed like the iconic rock band, holding Flying V guitars. We were going to be the next Fleetwood Mac / Patti Smith group. In this photo, you look like a female Kiss character with that kabuki makeup. My goodness. We opened the side stage for Woodstock 99. We were called Silver. I was the drummer and singer then, just like Henley. We opened with a drum sequence of Stigmata from Ministry. That's this photo here. Rome, New York, 1999. My goodness, it's been more than 20 years ago. And y'all didn't make it big? Most of the bands that played Woodstock are no longer playing music today. Red Hots are only the ones that are still big. Many bands break up. Wow. Did not know you played Woodstock. I've told you about that a million times. I thought you said you went there as a fan. We played there, side stage. Didn't people die at Woodstock 99? Yes, heat and smoke from the fires. Dehydrations were many cases. It was wild, far more harsh than 69. Are you nude in this photo? Minus the body paint, pretty much. Sexy lady. How old were you then? I was young. Give me a kiss. Grace kisses Rainey. He holds her close. He embraces her. When you told me that day in L.A. Burger that you were a UFC fighter, I thought you were crazy. I was telling you the truth. I find that so hot. That you hold nothing back. You never lie. I'm really proud of you, honey. Thanks, Lovey. Are you going to pick up Garlane tomorrow from the vet? Oh, I forgot about Garlane. I had a Zoom meeting about an exhibition fight that may be happening way out in Vegas. I can do the Zoom here in the office. Can you pick the cat up for me tomorrow, dear? I guess so, my honey pie. You are so beautiful. So are you. I love you so much, Grace Lippin. I love you, my Rainy love. A moment. I want to share something with you, something I never told you. What is that, honey? When I was living with Grandma, she gave me $100, and I went out and bought a suit. I wanted to look nice for her. You bought a suit? Yes. I wanted to look nice for her. I wanted to impress her. I wanted to get a good job. Where's the suit? It could be at D's. I don't know. I don't remember where I put it. I can't fit into it anymore. How much did you weigh back then? I don't know, maybe $120. You look more beautiful now. Field at dusk. Exterior dusk field, Grace's Ranch, Texas. Louise, the lawn man, a middle-aged day worker and gardener, sits on a bright green riding lawnmower and starts ignition with a key. Louise adjusts his dirty cowboy hat, tightens his Dickies men's bib overhaul strap, and wipes his forehead with a green and white do-rag. He wears a do-rag around his long hair and then retightens the cowboy hat to the crown of his head. A half-full bottle of lime-colored Gatorade rests in his lap. He takes a sip, returns the bottle to his lap, and then fearfully swallows as the lawnmower rides onward. Fightin', Eddie. Woo-wee. Very hot day, senor. Very hot indeed. The lawnmower's motor bursts to a low growl, and the mower's blade twirls, and he rides forward and begins cutting the weeds in the field. Louise drips with sweat as the heat of the summer day simmers to a steamy sizzle, and the slow of the sunset begins concluding the day. Louise makes his turn by turn as the green summer grass and weeds fly from the lawnmower's metal front deck cover. Hot, hot, hot. The sun is not a friend today, senor. The remaining rays of the hot sun beat down on Louise as the lawnmower rides alongside a large wood fence with a giant wooden G imprinted inside the wood surrounding Grace massive ranch. The great Grace Lippin's ranch, my master the senor, so lucky to have your own ranch. Lucky, senor, so rich, so lucky, so blessed life, my friend. The lawnmower putters and spits and jerks to a sudden halt. Oh dear. Louise gets off huffing and puffing. He walks around the lawnmower, intently studying its every angle and green metallic makeup. Damn, John dear, I thought you were the best. Oh well, John dear. You are the best as long as I'm concerned. But why are you making weird noises, my friend? My friend the lawnmower, why the weird noises? Louise gets on his knees and lies prone over the weeds and grass. He looks under the lawnmower. The blade is busted. He stands up. He drinks from the Gatorade bottle, finishing every last drop, and sets the bottle on the lawnmower's hood. Time to call Senor Grace. Louise takes out a cell phone from his pocket. He dials and waits for his boss to pick up the phone. Can you hear me, Senor Grace? Don't call me Senor, Louise. The mower broke down in the field. I'm checking it over. I must have hit a rock or something. The mower blade may be bent. Looks like we may need to get a new mower blade. Go to the shed and get a chain. Then tie the chain to a rock you hit. What kind of rock you think? Slate, maybe. It must be something harder. Harder than slate? Is it black rock? Tan, kind of tannish? It may be flagstone. Flagstone? Way out here? It's most likely light enough to pull with the mower. You're on the John Deere mower right now, right? Yes, sir. Great. Go to the shed, get a chain, tie it to the rock, and use the mower to pull the rock to the fence line. Leave the rock there. You think the chain will do it? It should. Got it. Tie the chain to the rock and pull the rock to your fence line. Yes, senor, will do. Call me when the rock is in place, and I'll come out to check the lawnmower. Got it? Okay, Louise? It's important you do this first, okay? 10-4, senor. He hangs the phone up. Louise got some work to do. Cut 2. Shed, field, sunset. Louise arrives to the shed and opens the shed doors. He walks in and finds some old silver chain and a lock. He gathers the chain and walks back toward the field. Cut 2, lawnmower, the rock, and the hidden underground cave. Exterior field, sunset. Music cue, Plateau by Nirvana fades up and plays through the lawnmower scene. Louise stands next to the lawnmower. He takes out a deep breath and wipes the sweat from his brow. He ties the chain around the large rock in the field and fastens the chain with the giant silver lock. He secures the rock. Louise returns to the lawnmower and starts the ignition. The motor purrs once more. Before moving forward, he gets off the lawnmower and walks off toward the sunset. Plateau continues playing. Cut 2, exterior old Ford pickup truck. Moments later, sunset. Louise opens the side passenger door of the pickup truck and then pops open the glove box. He digs inside to find an old flashlight. He sticks the flashlight in his breast pocket and then opens the console. Louise digs in the console and removes a small bottle of Gatorade and smartphone. He walks back to the field. He drinks from the bottle and checks over the smartphone as he walks the lawnmower. Cut 2, exterior field. Moments later, sunset. Louise hops on the lawnmower and presses the pedal. It putters out. He restarts the motor. He begins to move the lawnmower forward. The chain pulls the rock from its original position. The lawnmower drags the 7-foot rock across the field until it digs into the ground and stops the riding mower from moving. He cries out, and the mower restarts and begins to pull the great rock across the field. Louise begins to sing and hum a well-known Spanish lullaby. The lawnmower motor strains. It barely pulls forward, and the rock begins to drag. The rock scrapes the soil and smothers the grass along the way. Cut 2, exterior fence line. Moments later, sunset. Louise gets off the lawnmower. He unlocks the chain from the rock. He gathers up the chain and tosses it along the fence line. Louise returns to the running lawnmower and restarts it. The lawnmower putters back toward the tall grass of the field. Exterior field, moments later, sunset. Louise hops off the lawnmower and discovers a large hole in the ground. He turns the flashlight on, directs the beam of light into the hole. There's a hole under where the rock was now. Wow. He leans over and drops the flashlight into the hole. Oh dear. I dropped the flashlight in the hole. Why did I do that? Louise hits the record button on the smartphone. He points the smartphone camera at his sweaty mug. Louise. Look at my sweaty mug. I have a vlog to do today. Look at my sweat-drenched mug. I was out mowing on my boss's John Deere lawnmower and hit a rock. The rock bent the mower blade, and my boss told me, The great gray-slipping UFC fighter told me that I need to tie a chain around the rock and pull it free. And I did. And guess what? I came back to check over my work and I found a large hole in the ground, a cave. So I'm going to crawl down the cave and explore just like a spelunker. How about it, friends? Plus, I dropped my flashlight in it, and it's my favorite flashlight. So here we go. Follow me. Follow me, everybody. Shall you? Over and out. Whoops. I must be careful. I don't want to drop my smartphone in the hole in the ground. Mustn't have a whoopsie. I'm trying to look at this word here for a minute. A little breather. Oh, why not? He turns the smartphone downward toward the cave entrance. I like that. Hang on. One little moment I did right here. He just goes like this. Oh, why not? He tosses the smartphone downward toward the cave entrance and drops the smartphone inside. The smartphone falls in the cave. Louise goes after his device. Darn it! I dropped the damn thing in the hole too. Oh dear, I must go retrieve my precious device. Cut 2, interior hole. Moments later, night, full moon. Louise is at the bottom of the pit in the ground. Wind howls through adjacent long, endless tunnel, leading into an underground cave. He finds the flashlight at the mouth of the cave and picks it up and wipes around the dust. He begins searching for his smartphone at the bottom of the hole. I found it. It was the soggy mud at the mouth of this underground cave. He picks up the device and hits the record button. My smartphone still works. Wow. Where is this darn record button? He hits the record button and begins vlogging. Found it. The vlog must continue. I am now at the bottom of the cave. I dropped my flashlight and smartphone down here, and I found both of them. Now I'm finished up a hard day's work at my boss's ranch, Gray Slippin', the great fighter. I must crawl back up to the surface and ride the John Deere lawnmower back to the ranch house. He keeps it in his 7-car garage. He has a mansion-sized ranch house. Well, I'm finishing up the vlog for the evening. Oh, by the way, it's a full moon out. You'll have a good night. Louise looks up and hears something strange. What was that? The smartphone remains recording. Someone there? Howling arises. Oh, the shadow of the werewolf towers over him. Louise is yanked from the hole and lifted upward. Louise is carried away into the darkness and silver covering the fields above. The full moon's silvery beams shine over the hole in the ground where Louise once explored. Cut 2. Field moments later, night. The full moon shines downward. Louise is being dragged across the field. He now screams bloody murder. A blood stain is left behind the trampled grass and weeds. Louise is nowhere to be found. Cut 2.